And now, our feature presentation.
Buffalo Days Festival. 9-year-old Wade Stewart is always one of the star attractions here. He's a little over 4 feet tall and barely weighs 100 pounds. But this incredible little lumberjack can climb a log pole with the best of them. He's been doing it since he was 3.5 years old. Wade was trained by his father, Les, a professional logger who was the Canadian national champ at pole climbing for 3 years in a row. The rope is steel reinforced to stand up to the rigors of pole climbing. It'll be Wade's lifeline on the 30-foot climb he's about to perform. He's just about ready. And there he goes. Wade makes it look easy.
That's incredible!
Good evening, I'm John Davison. You know, the mail keeps coming in asking us to feature more of the extraordinary kids we've had on past shows. So, tonight, another edition of those incredible kids. David Rank is the youngest full-fledged matador in the country. Tonight, you'll see him duel with a half-ton wild bull.
I'm Fran Tarkin. This is Cowboy Jack Cannell, the youngest jockey in the nation. He was forced to stop riding last year, but you'll see his comeback at age 16.
I'm Kathy Lee Crosby. Connie Howray is 7 years old and blind. She's been composing and playing music since before she could walk.
Carrie Ann Tremblay looks like a normal 13-year-old girl, but she is the national champion in a most demanding sport.
8-year-old Georgie Jeanette plays fiddle and guitar. He's been doing it since he was 2 1/2, and he's never had a lesson.
And there are even more incredible kids.
Tonight on
That's Incredible. Each of tonight's incredible kids have achieved something truly remarkable for his or her age.
Take Robert Williams III, for instance. He's a widely published professional photographer. If we told you he was only 14 years old, you'd be amazed. You probably wouldn't believe us.
And you'd be right, because Robert isn't 14. He's 4 years old.
Gastonia, North Carolina, where a good crowd has turned out to see a most impressive photography display.
The pictures are excellent, most everyone agrees. They're primarily nature studies, animals and trees. The photographer has certainly managed to capture that very special something that makes a great photograph more than just paper and some emulsion.
The photographer is Robert Williams III. Those who don't know Robert's work assume that he's been at it for much of his life. And they're right, he has.
This is Robert Williams III, professional photographer. He started taking pictures last year when he was 3.
His father has always encouraged him, and he accompanied little Robert recently for a photo session with the president of Gaston College.
I know about our film.
Good morning, Robert.
Good morning.
Robert Williams and his son are here to see you.
Good morning, Robert. How are you this morning? You gonna take some pictures today?
Yes.
Where would you like for me to be?
What the?
Right here?
Very first picture that Robert took, the camera was already preset, so all he had to do was push the shutter button. And a few weeks later, he asked for the camera, and this time he wanted to start doing the work. He had watched my wife and watched me, and we found that he knew how to advance the film and shoot. So we started letting him play with it a little bit more each time we'd go out, and finally he just asked for the camera one day and walked around, taking pictures, actually putting objects where he wanted them. We saw him climb the stairs in order to shoot down. We'd see him get down on one knee and ask people to move to certain positions, and we just let him keep going, and as far as he wanted to advance, we let him.
Better than your dad.
There at the college, we have a small newspaper. They've asked me to be faculty advisor, and Robert one day was down and happened to take some pictures, and the editors of the paper decided they wanted to use these. They've asked Robert to take other pictures, so we plan to use any of his photos that are good, and they're amazed by the fact that he gets pretty good pictures.
Because as a child, you don't expect him to know what he's doing.
We didn't know that he was this good. We just saw these pictures a while ago. This is excellent. Even catching them with the guard down. Very good picture. High quality.
He's earned, I think, probably well in excess of $1,000 in the last 5 or 6 months, and we simply take the money that we think is his and put it in a savings account for him. He has sold photos to the Charlotte News, to the Charlotte Observer, State Magazine, the New York Post, and we made it a policy never to tell anybody how old he was when we sent his photos in, because we didn't want his photos being accepted or rejected merely on the basis of age. 13, 14, 15,
19.
Okay, that's enough.
Robert not only takes pictures, he's been developing them as well.
That's right. One day he said he wanted to see the pictures being made. He had no idea what the darkroom was, but he watched the process 2 or 3 times, and he can now focus the enlarger and time his pictures and go all the way through the printing processes. All right, let's take it back out. Okay, now dump it in the water. Let's see how the dog looks. See if we have a good picture. You like that one?
I wasn't.
Who took that picture?
I did.
Robert enjoys working in the darkroom, but his real love is getting outdoors to capture the world of nature and wildlife.
As you might expect, he goes after his subjects like a seasoned and fearless pro.
I'm not really certain what's happening with him. He, of course, is seeing from a totally different perspective, and he's teaching us to see again, incidentally, through the eyes of a child.
Next, we're going to the races. It's almost post time, and among the riders is America's youngest jockey, Cowboy Jack Cannell. The track is fast, the weather's good, and they're off.
Our incredible jockey is in blue silks, riding horse number 5.
They're off. For the lead, that's Toronto's Miss on the inside. On the outside, that's Miss Trish Ann. Between horses, Secret Blessing. They approach the clubhouse turn. That's Lou Who now second along the inside. That's Star Rose. Nell Gwynn along the rail. That's Miss Trish Ann. On the outside, that's Secret Blessing. And trailing, Toronto's Miss. They're around the far turn, and that's Nell Gwynn going off to a 3-length lead. That's Star Rose coming on. That's Nell Gwynn in front, Star Rose second. Nell Gwynn in front, Star Rose second.
On the winning horse was a jockey 16 years old.
And the winner, number 5, Nell Gwynn, ridden by apprentice Jack Cannell.
No surprise there. Cannell was winning 20% of his races at Pimlico.
Line, and that's Icy Dial, Pro Supper, and Bermuda High. That's Icy Dial in front. And the winner, number 5, Icy Dial. Ridden to victory by apprentice Jack Canel for his 5th winner of the afternoon.
At 16, Cannell was being touted as a second Willie Shoemaker, except that he wasn't 16.
I had received a telephone call from Fred Caldwell, the chief steward at Pimlico. There was some urgency in his voice, and he told me there had been a newspaper article in the Washington Star in which it was alleged that Jack Cannell, the very successful jockey at Pimlico, was not 16 years of age. He was actually 15, and that he shouldn't be riding.
And so immediately I went in and turned in my license to the stewards. And I took off my horses that day. And then they set up a hearing for 2 weeks later.
At the Maryland Racing Commission, Cannell and his agent waited. It could be Cannell would lose all of his $85,000 winnings. Worse, he could be disqualified as a jockey forever.
Jack, the Racing Commission's ready.
And I pointed out to the commission that Jack's application indicated he was 16, but in fact he was 15 years of age.
But he never lied about it. When he was asked how old he was, he said 15. And I wanted to make sure that the board and the members of the board recognized that the boy was as honest as could be.
And I said, Jack, why did you do it? He says, well, I have a family to support, and I make a lot of money doing this, and my family has no other means of income, and it's a way I can support my family.
It was what you would call a white lie. Matter of fact, it was not a mortal sin in any way considered by anyone.
The commission felt that Jack had been punished enough and that it would be best just to cancel his license and allow him the opportunity to ride when he actually turned 16. So they took no further action against him.
A horse, his kingdom for a horse. But it would be months till his 16th birthday. Cannell sat and waited as other kids in America wait for a driver's license. His father reminisced.
Well, we always had stock around, from horses to goats to dogs. I suppose the first thing he ever rode was a coon dog. He used to ride it over the neighbors, mile and a half, just so he wouldn't have to walk.
Cannell had been riding one thing or another since before he could walk.
On a kid like that, you don't tell him to ride. I don't know when he really first rode. It's just whenever he could crawl up on him, or he'd crawl up the legs of a horse to get on him.
Yeah, when I was very young, when I was 3 and 4 years old, I was walking horses for my father and other people, riding ponies and walking horses to cool them out. And as I grew up, I worked in the jocks room for quite a while, years there. What you do, you run and get the food for the other riders. And I worked for the State Racing Commission in Nebraska at the age of 10. They paid me $5 a day to run the scale sheet over. And so I've always worked, and I started riding when I was 11.
At last, July 27th, and the happiest birthday of Cannell's life. Once again, legally, he filled in the dotted lines at the State Racing Commission.
Here, I'll leave these with you, and I'll leave this with Kitty.
Thank you very much, Mr. Caldwell.
Quite welcome. Best of luck to you.
Okay, thanks.
Here, thank you, sir. Right, you are.
Okay.
The same day, he raced at Timonium, outside of Baltimore.
What many you ride today?
6.
Who are you going to win?
7. No, I just did.
Jack Cannell, a comeback at age 16.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. May we now direct your attention to the post parade, where you see jockey Cowboy Jack Cannell, who is celebrating his 16th birthday today. Happy birthday, Cowboy Jack Cannell.
His horse's name, Pro Supper.
They break away. It's Pro Supper down along the inside. Coming on, CT Star. Coming up to the outside, Jan Gletto. Now racing for the lead. 3 of them right there as they pass the stand for the first time into the turn. Jan Gletto on the outside. Supper along the rail. CT Star right in between them. They move around the turn. Rose Supper along the rail by a neck. CT Star challenging. Got the length and a half. And it's Jan Glenno in third place with Oro's Girl up to be fourth. Fabulous Candy is fifth. Then it's Frank's Playgirl. In second place, CT Star. They move on around the turn. At the top of the stretch, Rose Supper in front. In second place, it's CT Star. Down along the inside, Fabulous Candy comes on to be third. Coming to the wire, Rose Supper out front by 8 lengths.
Canal, who doesn't think of this as work, was on his way to the winner's circle.
Thank you.
Thanks from the horse's owner and from some of the fans who had bet on Jack Cannell. His next race that day, his horse's name was Victor's Ambition.
They come through the stretch. Impressive Laybon along the rail. On the outside, Victor's Ambition. Coming down the wire, Victor's Ambition in front.
Of his 6 races that day, Canal won 3 and placed in 2 others.
Cowboy Jack Cannell on his 16th birthday.
Happy birthday, dear Jack. Happy birthday to you.
When we return, we'll meet Carrie Ann Tremblay, master of a most grueling sport.
We'll hear an 8-year-old fiddler who's never had a lesson.
We'll see the youngest matador in the country as he faces his moment of truth with a ferocious bull.
Our next story is about a 13-year-old girl.
Kathy Lee, what were you doing when you were 13 years old? Were you playing with dolls or what?
No, I was just starting tennis competition. But the girl we're about to meet has already won enough trophies to fill 3 mantles.
13-year-old Carrie Ann Tremblay has always been active and athletic. Her mother explains.
When we first moved here, there was just one boy that lived next door, and she used to always play with him. And she used to be part of a tomboy. She's got a little 3-wheeler, and to keep it going, you gotta turn the gas thing, and it is pretty hard. She works over to Out-of-Town Auto Parts, and they have a foosball table. And that takes a lot of wrist action, so probably that helped her rest. Well, I guess it runs in the family. We all have big shoulders. Well, she's won about 12 trophies so far, and that was before she turned 13. She won the Eastern Coast Women's Championship for 115 pounds and under.
This is my shoe I have to wear because I'm very short. I'm only 5 feet, but it helps me out a lot.
She was just a natural when she started, which really helps. She was naturally strong when she first started. And she's been working out in the gym a little bit with me, and she does a lot of wrist curls, a lot of forearm curls. She had quite a bit of strength in her too.
In Connecticut during the Eastern Coast Championships, she was really nervous, and she had to go against Roxanne Dubé, and she's pretty good. She heard somebody holler out, "Come on, Roxanne, you can beat that baby from Vermont," and that really got her mad, you know, and I guess that really psyched her up, and that's probably how she did win.
I didn't know how old she was. She looked young, but from the size of her arms and the way she pulled, she seemed experienced, and I didn't really think I was going to lose to her. First time I went against her, it went pretty fast. I don't remember what happened, but by the second time after she'd worked out and she got a little stronger, I think she grabbed me low. Her boyfriend told her to grab me low, so I grabbed her low, and it went a little slower. So if she's there tonight, I'm going to grab her high.
Tonight, an important annual competition is being held in St. Albans, Vermont. It's Carrie Ann's hometown, and a big crowd has turned out to watch her compete.
Carrie Ann is especially keyed up because her longtime rival, Roxanne Dubé, has come here to try to regain her title. Before their bout, each one of them must weigh in.
And drop back down to 115 on the button. How about that? Okay, Carrie. We're going to get you in at 115 on the button.
Most of the time, I know who I'm against. Like, I pick him out beforehand and stuff. And I look at the girl, and I don't know, I just get really mad at her. So when you're mad, it gives you more strength.
In a few moments, the duel will begin.
The initial sparring helps each of them to psych up for their contest.
She's really got a lot of power and technique. Her chances of making the nationals are very good. And with a couple more years and a little more experience, I imagine she'll be world champion.
The winning 115 pounds and under champion, St. Albans, Carrie Tremblay.
Marianne's dream is to someday be the world champion, and it looks like she's well on her way.
And now we're going to hear some of my kind of music, the country kind we like down in Georgia. And pay special attention to the fiddler in the band. He's been playing nearly all his life.
Georgia, you're on.
Hey, let's hit it. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's go. Come on.
We're going to get him, sport.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the 8-year-old wonder of the world and maybe a few other places too that we don't know about. Let's hear it, little Georgie Janak.
Georgie's been playing since he was 2 years old.
Stage frightened because when I'm on top of the stage, I feel like I'm on the top of the world. The stage is really the main part of the place that you're at. I mean, the tables, the bar, the dinner house, all that junk is just so you can eat or stuff like that and drink, and the stage is the main part.
George has been performing professionally since he was 4 years old.
Georgie, he plays, 7 different instruments. He's only been playing the fiddle since he was 6, and he's 8 now. He's been playing the steel since February of '81, and no one has taught Georgie to play these instruments. His dad showed him a few chords, but he's picked up the rest of it basically on his own.
Georgie is, as far as I'm concerned, is one of the guys in the band. And we relate pretty well in terms of if I have a problem hearing or not being able to hear what's going on musically, I can say to Georgie, hey, turn it down, and he turns it down. We need to have that kind of rapport back and forth with the musicians. And Georgie's definitely a pro.
2 bars. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Kind of hard to understand how he does learn it. If it's a song that he's especially fond of, he can listen to it tonight and he might not do a thing for a week, and then he'll pick his instrument up and play it. So he carries that tone and that song in his head till he gets ready to play it. Other songs that he learns that he wants to learn right off, he'll get his tape recorder out or listen to the radio, and he just sits down and learns it.
He is a musician first, but at the same time, he's still a little kid too. He does little kid things, he gets in trouble, but when he's playing with his music, he is an adult.
I don't tell any of my friends that I play music. It's like gossip, telling somebody how you play. Like, if I told you, hey, I play good, I'm better than you. You gotta remember though, there's always somebody that's coming along that's better than you.
Georgie, go, go, go. Go, Georgie, go, go. Go, Georgie, go, go. Go, Georgie, go, go. Georgie, be good.
Our next incredible kid is 18 years old. Though that would make him a man in some eyes, he's still the youngest in his field.
His field is bullfighting. To all the other matadors, he is a kid. But when the moment of truth comes in the bull ring, he becomes undeniably a man.
Meet David Rink, America's youngest matador.
My father used to fight bulls back in the early 60s, so I started going to bullfights then. I started getting my feeling for bullfighting, the way, liking it and all. At 2.5, 3 years old, on up, I was going to be a bullfighter.
It seemed an impossible dream, but David's father, Fred, always encouraged him.
When he was 5 or 6, he had a little wooden sword and a napkin or a towel, and he practiced bullfighter. Everybody would look at his feet and say, what a shame. This kid's got such afición, such feeling for the bulls, but there again, he'll never be able to fight bulls because he can't move, he can't outmaneuver.
I was born with a foot defect or problem, which was giving me problems all my life, all up until I was 9 years old when I had corrective surgery. But while I was in the cast, my father took me to a bullfight at the Monumental Bull Ring in Juarez. That Pepe Luis Vasquez, my trainer manager, was taking his despedida fight in the rings as a full matter retiring.
I was having, of course, a farewell fight. And I was introduced to the boy, to David. He was crippled and he was in a wheelchair. I dedicated my first bull to him. And he asked me if I thought that he would be able to walk. And I told him, yes, you can do anything you want. So he came back and said, can I even be a matador? I told him, of course you can be a matador if you try hard enough.
David tried more than hard enough. As a child, he practiced his moves with cows on his parents' ranch. At age 11, he began working with real bulls. At 14, he had his first professional fight. His mother, Barbara, remembers.
When David first started fighting professionally or as a novice, I was very, very upset and very torn and drawn because I've watched many fights and I know what can happen. David had only the best teachers in all of Mexico teach him.
Pepe Luis Vasquez has gradually nurtured David's natural talent.
The most important thing I have to teach David is to understand the bulls. When the moment of truth comes to kill the bull, he will know the right place to kill him and do it the right way. Now, David. Now you got the right place.
Before every fight, David follows the ancient custom of all matadors by lighting a candle to the Virgin Mary at a makeshift altar in his dressing room. Soon he will face the risk of death.
David will perform a bloodless fight. Killing a bull in a fight is illegal in the United States. The bull will be fought with a cape, and it will not be injured or killed. Only the matador can be hurt.
In a moment, we'll see our incredible kid matador as he faces his moment of truth.
And now it's back to the bull ring, where David Renk is about to engage in the bloodless bullfight. The bull is not harmed in this contest. Only the matador is in jeopardy.
Torero from Texas has fought bravely and well, and the crowd shows its appreciation.
David Rank is only the 7th American matador in the last 100 years, and the youngest professional matador on this continent. His mother, who once feared for his life, has become less apprehensive about his chosen career.
I never thought that David really would make it as he has made it. Now David has shown me and has proven to everyone that he is serious. He does have the knowledge and the talent. I'm not as afraid now as I was, and each time David fights, it becomes a lot easier for me. But there still is always that possibility of him coming up to me and saying, "Hey, Mom, no more." And I guess I would be the happiest mother in the world.
Earlier, you saw little Wade Stewart demonstrate the sport of high-speed pole climbing. Well, Wade's an all-around lumberjack, and that, of course, includes log rolling. Now, log rolling requires a lot of balance, speed, and timing. Wade's competition here is his father. Gotta be in top form to take on Wade. And now let's meet our 9-year-old lumberjack, Wade Stewart.
All right, John, you're going to challenge Wade here at log rolling.
Wait, now, how did I get picked to do this?
Well, you know, Cassidy did the fire blanket, and I went around that big wheel, and it's your turn, my boy. Fair is fair.
Absolutely.
I'm the only one here with any guts that would do it.
Well, you've got great agility, John.
Hold my microphone.
Don't sing very well, but your agility is good.
Hey, you ready?
Here's your rope, John. Get your rope.
Easy.
Hold in. That's
So
it.
just give me a little head start.
All right,
okay?
you can do it, John. Oh, my gosh. Oh!
Don't turn it too fast.
Get him, Wade. Go ahead, take him downtown, Wade.
Don't get real mean about it now, Wade. All right, you ready? We'll do it now. Without.
Go, John.
We'll do it. Without. We'll do it.
Go ahead, Bob.
I can't even stand on the log. Get back up there, Wade. I got you now. Good. I know I'm cheating. Wade, get back up.
Go, John. You're fall.
All right, without the rope, Wade.
Well, wait a minute. How about Kathy Lee? Shouldn't Kathy Lee get up here?
You do that, John.
Crazy.
Get on there, Wade. You got it. Now, Wade is real nice.
Oh, my God.
All right, Wade, you just be real nice to her now, because she...
Wait. I can't believe the water. This is a full class.
Don't get the dress wet. Don't.
I don't trust you.
Let go of the rope.
Wait, Al, wait a minute.
Wade, try to be real steady.
Don't you lose it.
Let go of the rope. You got it now.
You got it, Kathy.
Let go of the rope.
No.
Let go of the rope. Okay, go ahead, Wade.
Somebody has got to stay dry, and it's me. We'll meet 7-year-old Tony Howray. Though born without sight, Tony has a sense of music that is truly miraculous. Some folks take years to learn how to play the piano. Others are born with an unexplainable gift of music. Our next incredible kid was born without sight, but not without that very special talent that is bestowed on very few.
Meet Tony Howry age 7.
Yes, she was born blind, and she was diagnosed as having Legion's congenital ambrosia. And basically what that is that the rods, the cones, and the retina are all in a very miniature state. Everything is there, but they're all very miniature.
When we realized she was blind, I have music in my family, and so did he. And we had a chance to get a baby grand piano, so we went ahead and got it. And she just would sit down like any normal kid. A piano is something to tinker around with, and she started playing it with her thumbs at about 2 years old. And it got to a point where the more she played, the better she played. It turned into music, and it was really all completely on her own. Nobody ever gave her lessons or even showed her how to play it, because really neither one of us can play at all. She began her formal training about 8 months ago at the beginning of school.
And the teacher that we picked for her took only auditions to take students. It wasn't a case of she was hungry for the money. She's a very outstanding teacher, and Tawny performed for her, and she just could not believe it.
Okay.
Never in my life had I ever come across a child of this age with no background, no musical training, who had the ability that Tawny did.
All right, scale.
Excellent. Okay, what interval is this, a third or a fourth?
Third.
What triad is this?
Tawny has never let blindness stand in her way. Her sister Shauna is a favorite playmate. For her mother, Tawny's spirit and courage is an unending source of pleasure.
She has been able to achieve with me in not even 1 year what it would take an average student that can see 5 or 6 years. I teach Tawny both by keyboard theory, which she's had extensive training in, and by ear, a combination of both. For an example, if I teach her a composition by Beethoven, the Moonlight Sonata, I would say to her, Tawny, your hand position in the first phrase will be in the key of C sharp minor, the left hand playing root position, the right hand playing the second inversion of a C sharp minor chord. And she can find that placement on the keyboard.
Now, the right hand is going to play this chord. You listen to it. Your thumb is on an E. Can you find the other notes?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Now listen to the next chord. Play those two chords.
Not only can she imitate a phrase that I play to almost perfection every time, but in several instances she has even, and I don't know how she does this, but she has even pre-felt the next musical phrase and played it for me note for note the way the composer has written it in his score.
She started composing right around the age of 3, 3.5. Just little things.
She has one in particular, she started composing at 4 years old. It's called Tawny's Rhapsody. Since she did that one, the theme she's carried through, she still has it. But the rest of the song itself has changed. I couldn't even begin to tell you how many times.
Tawny will be able to do anything musically that she wants. She has the ability to become a great woman pianist.
As far as we're concerned, she's as normal as anybody else. All she can't do is see.
Recently, Tawny gave her first public recital.
Before we go, we'd like to thank Wade Stewart for joining us tonight.
And now, here's some of what's in store in the weeks ahead.
Firefighters have a new weapon in their arsenal. It's an amazing chemical that can actually make a man fireproof.
If you've lost all your upper or lower teeth, there may be hope. Surgical dental implants may be able to restore your smile. The Grand Teton is over 13,000 feet high. Tonight, mountaineer Steve Shea will attempt to climb it. And when he gets to the top, he's going to ski down.
We'll show you an incredible new fabric that can resist the force of a speeding bullet.
Our letter tonight comes from Tracy Jensen, who lives in Zion, Illinois. Tracy writes,
I have 35 kids in my That's Incredible fan club. We are 5th graders in Beach Park School, and we all watch your show every Monday night. We think it's educational and interesting, and we never try the stunts you tell us not to.
Tracy, thanks for writing. We're sending the club a box of That's Incredible books, and since you're the president, you get a That's Incredible jacket.
Oh, wait, there's more.
Oh.
If we ever hear of anything incredible, we'll be sure to let you know. Sincerely yours, Tracy Jensen, Fan Club President.
If anyone comes across something that ought to be on our show, here's our address. Post Office Box 25989, Los Angeles, California, 90025. And please include your phone number. We'll be seeing you next time on
That's Incredible.
Good night.
This is David Hartman. Tomorrow, Bruce Langan, Robin Williams, Pam Dauber, and David Niven. Wednesday, the Space Shuttle Columbia launch on Good Morning America.
Unbeaten WBC heavyweight champ Larry Holmes fights unbeaten Ronaldo Snipes. Watch the action live Friday night at 6. Sunday, get set for John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John in the all-time movie musical blockbuster Grease, a network television premiere on the Sunday movie. Stay tuned now for an ABC News Brief.